4, 5, somewhere around there. And like my dad plays football too. He played for Dennytown, so I would always. Oh wow, why that face?
Anytime.
So who's your team?
I used to play for Devonshire Colts.
Mm. Anyways,
Wow. Well, I see we woke up the shade, so we're good now. All right.
so
So your dad played at Dandytown.
yeah, so like I would always be at his games and like it would always be like random balls on the side, so I was just like kick around and stuff, and then I finally got put on a team to play. So I started playing with the boys and went on from there.
So you started playing with the boys. You fell in love around 5-ish. First of all, what position did your dad play? Did that affect you or impact you as a player, or how did that?
He played defense for well, he also played striker, but I'm not quite sure when that was. I think that was in college, but um, I think when I watched him, he was defense, but I just always loved the game, and then I think position came like later down the line.
What did you fall in love with at first? Because everybody says, "Oh, I love the game. I love this. I love that." What part of it did you fall in love with first?
Um, Probably the like competitiveness of it.
In what way? Like, because I get it, you're playing against boys. Obviously, it'll maybe a little more physical, whatever, whatnot. But what about it? Were you playing up front at first, or were you more of a defensive player? What did you fall in love with outside of?
Um, I think I started playing like outside mid, so like right winger or left winger. Well, I don't know. I just like enjoyed what I was doing.
That's a good thing. Aside from playing for Dannytown, that's a great thing. But just kidding. So tell me, talk me through it. So you're young, you're playing football. I'm guessing you're playing through Dandytown, going through the ranks as you get older. Um, where did the national team start to come in for you? Because you're a national team player, and that's a big deal. For people
Yeah.
who don't know soccer or football, that is a huge thing to represent your country. And guess what? I got to play for the national team of Bermuda too, for basketball and football.
Really? I
Oh,
didn't know that.
yeah. See, you didn't do your homework. I did my homework on you, but you didn't do your homework on me. But talk me through that. At what age did you begin playing for the national team, and what was your experience like?
I think I started when I was 12. So like my first trip was the U15. So I was like one of the youngest. I was 13 when we went. So to be honest, I don't even remember like how I got like involved with them. I think it was like must have been like a camp or something that they was having, and then they asked us to come train with them at BFA. So
Well, that's a great start. I mean, a lot of people don't ever get that opportunity. And as you know, coming from a small place, and for people who don't know, Bermuda has elite athletes. And you have a lot of players who come through the ranks, but some never make it. So talk me through it. So you finally get to the national team. What was the trip like? I always like to ask people this because my first trip was to, I think, Cayman Islands or something
yeah,
like
mine
that.
was too.
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of the trip myself, but the football experience was amazing. What was it like for you to, leave Bermuda and represent your country? Did you start to feel the pressure?
Yeah, a little bit. But like I enjoyed it. Like the team that like went, it was all like close and like we like knew each other. So like it was kind of fun at the same time. But we also knew what we had to do when we got down there.
So it's fun for you, but when did you start feeling the pressure? Because it's cute and fun, but I'm playing in front of a lot of people in Jamaica, and I felt the pressure. Like you're hearing the noise, you're hearing people cussing you out, and you're still like 16 years old, or for your case, you're 12. Like, and people become very hostile. What point did you feel like the pressure? Like, yeah, I'm really wearing Bermuda's national shirt. Like, this isn't like playing for a club anymore or college.
Probably like when we started to like gear up for the first game, and like it like really hit me putting on the jersey and like putting on the boots and like getting ready to go out on the field. I think like that's when it probably like hit me the most.
Is it more fear or excitement?
Both.
I don't know. For me, it was a little different because I went out there and we were all kind of the same age group. So I played with, I don't even know if you know, Connor Smith. You know, She's so young. Bless your heart. We had a very good team, and I didn't have that much pressure, and it was a lot of people in the team. But I played striker, so there's always pressure because if you
Yeah.
score, then what are you doing on the trip? So, but I love that. You know, the excitement propels people. That means you're bound for a good career if you weren't getting nervous. So talk me through it. As you're growing and you're developing, you're playing for the national team. When does college kind of come in? When do you start getting recruited or hearing the idea of you possibly playing at a higher level?
Well, ever since I was young, I like always wanted to play pro. So I guess then I found out like college would be like the next step to like reach to becoming a pro. So I didn't like start completely looking at colleges until I moved away.
Talk me through it. Where did you move away to, and then what's the experience like? Because obviously, a lot of kids from Bermuda only leave and go to university, and that's their first experience. But for you, you get a different experience. Talk me through it. Where did you go, and was that for sports, or was that kind of just like a feeler for you? How did that affect you?
So I first left uh the middle of sophomore year S2. So the school I was at, it wasn't like the right fit. So which was in it was like outside Atlanta. So it wasn't right fit. So I came to a school up in Maryland in Bel Air, a private school called John Carroll. So like I don't know what that face means.
No, I know. I live in Maryland, so
Oh,
I know the school. That's why I'm saying
oh
like that's
yeah.
a good school.
So while I was at this school, I got onto a club team. So like, well, my first year I was out here, I just trained with them. I didn't really like play any games, but I played high school, like outdoor, indoor, and then my junior year is when I like got like I was really on a team playing games, traveling to showcases and tournaments with them, and that like got me more exposure for college. And
Talk
then
me through that though. Like, what's it like? Because it's different when you're playing maybe once a week, you train two, three times, but now you have potentially multiple games and you have to travel to it. Was
yeah,
that a great awakening for college? Because I'm imagining that you're traveling all over and it's kind of the same rhythm.
yeah, like the you had to be on top of your schoolwork too, because that was like tough for me at first. So we would travel to like we had games in like North Carolina. We had one that was in Florida. So you had to like make sure that you had everything under control. And like when some of them weekends we'll have like 3 games. So it was tough on the body. So like you just have to make sure like you was preparing yourself right.
So, what were some of the things that you had to learn? Because when you're saying you're playing three times in a weekend, that's almost like playing, I guess I would say, a professional game. Like, how are you taking care of your body, or what did you learn? Because I'm guessing it wasn't the same strain as if you were playing in Bermuda.
No. Like we would while we was at the tournaments, like our coach would like have have the team come down to a room in like one of the hotels or like stretch or whatever. We always like walked around to like loosen us up. We did what's it called? The cryo freeze, that's what it's called.
Must
That
be
like
nice.
ice bath.
No
Yeah.
ice bath.
Yeah, we did ice baths too. I don't like ice baths, but they
I
help.
don't think anybody does.
After you get through like the first minute, it's not that bad, but it's first minute is always crucial.
Yeah, the first minute is death. No question about it. It is death. And for guys, it's even worse. Like it's death times two. You're like, oh my goodness. But it's good. It's a good awakening for you because I know that if you're aspiring to be a pro, then you'll get into that realm very quickly. So talk me through it. You get to these, you're playing showcases and whatnot. What's it like to finally get a coach to come up to you and say, hey, you know what? I've had my eye on you. Like, how would you be? How would you feel about coming to our university? Like, what kind of feeling do you feel now when you hear this?
I mean, like, it means that like all the hard work that I put in before is like finally paid off. So it's a good feeling.
Good feeling. Now, it's a great feeling because obviously somebody sees that the work you put in behind doors. But I want you to talk to it and speak to maybe a young lady who doesn't know what that looks like. What does that work ethic look like for you behind the scenes to get into a position to, get a scholarship or get on a travel team? What did that look like for you?
Um, I mean, like always working hard. I mean, it's gonna be some days where you're like gonna be so tired where you just like don't feel like doing it at all. But like sometimes you're just gonna have to push through it, like and keep going.
Go a little deeper for me because now, let's be honest, social media kind of controls the narrative of a lot of people your age. How big of a distraction was it for you, and how did you kind of like push it to the side and keep focus on what was really important for you, which was your athletics?
Well, at first it wasn't like right at the end of the tunnel. It was like all these paths I had to go through to get to where I am now. So like it was a lot of distractions, but I had to like eventually figure out that they were just distractions and push them to the side and just keep going.
I like that. Is it, I'm going to go to a space of a weekend game. You have 3 games. You're stretching, your ice bath, and all of this. Deep down, what's pushing you to give your best each time? I like to ask this question because I think a lot of people don't get it. Like I played professionally football, soccer, and I played in college, and then I played basketball professionally in Europe after college. And I tell people all the time, you have no idea what it looks like to get up and have to do something, and it's no longer fun, or it's not that attractive thing. What was it for you that kept you going to push you and propel you?
Basically my end goal, cause like I just want to play pro, so that's just like it's just like what I had to do to keep going and to get where I want to be.
So you say the end goal is there. Right now, what grade, what year are you in college?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman. That means you're at the beginning of the hurdle.
Yeah.
Talk me through it. What is it like being a freshman during COVID? Like, I don't know what your season looks like, but it sounds like they're going to push through with a season maybe in spring or something to that effect.
Yeah,
And,
hopefully,
what's that? Go ahead.
hopefully in the spring.
Yeah, don't hold me accountable for this. Anybody who listens, but yeah, they're gonna try to make some money, so they're gonna have you out there in springs to give you. What is your what are your goals for yourself going into this spring first season? What are some concrete goals that you set for yourself?
I just like want to improve my game. Like obviously I'm a striker, so I like want to score goals and like try and like help the team to like be better.
So what does that look like for you? Like concrete. Like I want you to be honest. Like I'm trying to score 10 goals and maybe have 3 assists my freshman year. Like what are your tangible goals? Or maybe you don't have them. I don't know. Is there something or a number that you have in your mind where you're like, yo, I'm trying to hit 10 goals. I'm trying to get 4 or 5 assists because out here in college in America they count assists as well.
Yeah, I don't have any like I don't have a number goal per se, but I just know like I would want to be on the score sheet more than twice.
Okay, more than twice. So here's my first challenge to you: put a number there. Put a number there. Like put a number and say, yeah, I'm trying to hit the back of the net at least 5 times or 3 times or 2 assists, maybe 1 goal with my left foot. The reason why I say that is because there's so much power when you put pressure on yourself and you achieve it. Because once you see, oh man, I scored 2 goals with my left foot, 3 goals with my right, and I'm halfway through the season. Like now you can go back and adjust the goal. And then now it's like almost like you're preparing yourself to be a pro. So that's my only little challenge for you there. I always like to challenge people and say, push yourself to more. Put a number out there. I saw your clips. I've seen a little bit of you play more than you thought. And you're a pretty good goal scorer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we talked about sports. What are some of the challenges you find as a collegiate women athlete, or what are some of the barriers that you see that are obvious that I don't know that aren't fair or that kind of annoy you?
Um, that's a good question.
You're a female athlete, and you get to see male athletes probably get a hell of a lot more things than you, a
Yeah,
lot more
a
attention.
lot more
What
gear.
annoys you? I'm just saying.
I mean, it does because like sometimes they get better benefits than us. Like they're more geared, like more like I guess I wouldn't say like opportunities, but like they kind of do.
No, they
But
do.
and they have like I don't know the word for it.
It's all good. It's fine. So more opportunities you see them get. Does that make you hungrier or does that make you, I always say there's two type of athletes. One that's hungry and then one that's just a salty Susan that's never gonna make it. So like where does that make you? Does that make you hungry or does that make you kind of
Yeah,
salty?
because it'll like make me want to do better, so that one day like we'll be able to get the same things that they have.
So you came from Bermuda. It's a small island. For people who don't know, it's 60,000 people. 60, I don't know, it's maybe 70 because it's getting kind of crowded there. But you come from a small island, and government, as it may be, is potentially minorities. It's basically a minority base. What do you see, and what was really different for you when you came here, and now you see blatant racism?
Well, I just I don't get why people really do it because like we're all human, so like it, some of it just don't make sense to me.
Was it a big shock coming from Bermuda? And I say this because Bermudians are generally cool people. Like it's
Yeah,
just go with the wind. It is what it is. Hi, how are you? Doesn't really matter. But to come into this climate, did it really make you change the way you view things or the way Bermuda is?
yeah. Like when I first moved out here, I didn't like see it right away. It took me a while, and then I would see stuff on the news about it. And like, whoa, it's like really big out here. And like for me, just like you don't really see much of it or any of it at all.
What is it like when you go back and you're talking to friends, like, and they ask you and you're explaining it to them, and they're like in disbelief, and you're like, you kind of have to juggle your mind because that's where you live now. You live
Yeah,
in this, and they will probably never live in it. Like, how do you kind of express that to them, or do you just pull one of my moves and be like, "You're just not gonna get it"?
yeah, pretty much. You just gotta like you have to be in it to like fully understand it, like, you know.
So the last part of it is now we're about to go into an election year, which is absolutely nuts, right? Uh, how are you feeling? Are you feeling safe in your environment at your school? Being a freshman, have you experienced some of this, like negativity or racism or in any way, shape, or form? Or has it been a good experience for you?
It's been a good experience. Like I haven't personally like experienced it, so far it's been all right.
All right, so you're a freshman. Do you think you'll start this year? Is that one of your goals, or are you trying to work your way into the team? Like, I know you said you don't have a number, but maybe as far as setting yourself up in the team, what kind of goals do you think you've set as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, I would like to be able to start this season. So, well, yeah, that's definitely one of my goals.
That's good. And again, I applaud you for even making that a goal because for a freshman to come in and start any sport,
Yeah,
usually it's a pecking order, right? Like you're not just coming in here and people have pride, so they're like, this little freshman girl is not taking my spot. But
yeah.
that could be one of those things that you're looking to. That's good. All right. So you are Bermudian and you are out here and you are evolving in sport. But now you're saying you aspire to be a professional. What are some of the things that you're working on for yourself to like put yourself in a position in 4 years, 3 years, and move into the professional ranks?
Right now I'm working on my nutrition because that would help me a lot.
Do tell how.
Eating better and like making sure I get the like right nutrients, like the carbs, protein, and the vegetables.
All right. I like that. It's a big thing. I know my first, I don't know, 5, 6 years of playing professionally, I was absolutely horrible at eating. I just ate whatever. I'm like my body would adjust. but obviously you hit a wall and it's like, ooh, no, this won't work. So the younger you do it is obviously the better. So professionally, if you could pick a place to play, let's start here. What female player would you say you've patented your game after, and why?
I wouldn't say like I patterned my game after, but like I always, when I was younger, I always liked Alex Morgan. Um, Recently from the World Cups, I like Julie Ertz. Uh, I was always been a fan of Marta.
Yes, he's very good. Very, very good player. All good players that you've mentioned. So do you ever get a chance to go watch some of the games to see some of these players play?
No, I haven't. I've been to one game. It was like a Washington Spirit game, but I don't think like some of the players that are playing now were playing then.
Right.
But I haven't been to like a women's game like that yet.
That's crazy. So, Washington Spirit plays right down the street from my house. Like their
Really?
stadium is literally right around the corner from my house.
Oh
So
wow.
I've actually taken my kids to see them play. What about MLS? Is there any male players that you like or international players that you, kind of take bits and pieces of their game and try to implement it into yours?
Well, I didn't really watch MLS. I watch more like I watch more of like Premier League and like uh La Liga growing
Who's
up.
your Premier League team?
Manchester United.
Well, finally, we got something on the right page. I'm glad that after that drubbing on last week, I'm so embarrassed to say I'm even a fan.
Yeah, that's why I took a minute to say that to
You had
follow.
to digest it. But I'm happy, you know what I mean? Liverpool lost 7-2, so, and they had
Yeah.
11 players, so I'm okay with that. Like, the world's not that off balance. But what player would you say you like the most in the game?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I never like really had a favorite player of that. Like, oh, yeah, I'm a hardcore like when I was a fan or nothing like that. But like, I always like admired like how good people were.
My favorite player is Paul Scholes.
That's a good one.
Absolute, unbelievable. He's probably one of the only Englishmen that you could drop in any league. First touch, amazing. Shooting, amazing. 25 and in. Passing, amazing. Like, I thought he was like God's gift to a midfielder. And then he came out of retirement and won the championship by playing like the same way. And he was like 37, 38. So I was like, I love Paul Scholes. I'm a Paul Scholes fan. Maybe a groupie. And it's okay. I'm fine with that. So tell me this. Ideal place where you would like to go and start your career as a professional.
Um, I never really had like okay when I was younger. I
Come
didn't
on,
really.
are you kidding me? There's got to be somewhere where you
Wait,
want to
let me
go.
finish.
And
Let me finish.
okay, I'll let you finish.
Okay, so when I was like growing up, I didn't like know they had like the women's league, like the Premier League in England, and then Manchester United like recently had a women's team. So like I would love to play for them. Um, I would also like to play in Spain if that doesn't happen. America's fine too, but
No. I mean, I get it. So, are you familiar with what's her name? Kenny? Is that her name? Kenny?
Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good player. So
Yeah,
you do have some people that that you do you keep in contact with her? Are
no,
you
I remember playing against her when he was younger, but I
so
never
that
really
would
looked her.
Here's another piece of advice I'll give you, like especially with you guys having social media and everything. Friend her on Facebook. There's another young lady that's at Leeds. I can't remember her name either. There's so many out
Aaliyah
there.
Nolan.
Pardon?
Aaliyah Nolan.
There you go. These are great assets to have for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At game, shoot them a message, a DM, like, yo, what do I need to do, or share film with them and stuff like that. It's a great asset because they're there now and they're where you want to be. Because the sky's the limit and the game has opened up so much for women, and you got a little skills, so you might be able to get some to play some football. So I don't want to hold you much longer. The last couple questions I have for you is, number one, what's been your biggest struggle through this experience of finding success in football?
Um, I would say like when I first moved out here, it was school because like I thought I was out here. I didn't like really have to worry about school, and that became like a big factor to get to like to play in college.
What's your biggest struggle now?
Mm, probably my nutrition.
That's a good thing to have. Like, trust me, it's a lot of players out there who have problems with on the weekends. It's a lot of different things. But if nutrition is, it's something that you can control. And of course, the last question we always try to ask to get information is, if you could leave one piece of advice, or two, or three, um, what would it be to a female coming behind you who wants to play football and maybe doesn't have the best guidance, or maybe has to travel the same road you travel? What would you tell her?
Um, mm, you can't always like go 100 miles per hour. Sometimes you have to like slow down and like uh see what's in front of you first before you could go at it again.
I like that. Speed up or go slow. I like that. Make sure you see what's in front of you. So, Nia, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I just wanted to bring you on and talk success with you because you're one of our rising stars out of Bermuda. And yeah, I don't know you personally yet, but I want you to know that I'm super proud of you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's awesome that you're out here, you're representing the country. Um, and can't wait to see you on the field because I definitely will be buying tickets to see a game to see if the hype is there. If we got a new football and legend on our hands. So thank you so much for your time and your honesty and for talking because you said you weren't going to talk before. So
I
that
don't
was
say I wasn't gonna talk. I just said I wasn't gonna talk much.
wasn't going to talk much, but I got you to talk for like 28 minutes. So I'm like saying I'm winning today. But thank you so much for coming on, and we wish you nothing but the success. And we'll be in touch because we definitely trying to see that first touch if it works or not. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so much. Have a good evening. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye bye. Hey everybody. Great show. We only went for 30 minutes tonight because we had a student athlete who has some other stuff going on. But what I wanted you to see was this was a young lady who's come through a good bit and she's striving to be successful and be a professional. And this is what this story, this webinar is all about: teaching success, showing success, um, so that the next generation can enjoy it. This is Sullivan Phillips, balling out of control with the playbook to success, where we talk about success and share success and help others reach success. Good night.